Not just celebrate, but stand in the gap for Trinidad and Tobago. This is a national prayer vision that began back in June 20th, 2022, and is intended to continue until April 1st, 2024. Joining me this morning to discuss the National Day of Prayer, Reverend Pastor Victor Jorgee, Global Administrator of the National Day of Prayer. Good morning to you, Pastor.
Good morning to you, sir, and good morning to our beautiful Twin Island, Trinidad and Tobago.
How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Every day is a blessing from God, and thank God He woke us up this morning, and we are here in your wonderful studio to share this National Day of Prayer.
Yeah, man. So tell me a little bit about it. What inspired you to start this back in 2022?
Well, the Spirit of God led me to call 12 national prayer meetings here in our country. And it's interesting, the dates were already given, 12 National Day of Prayer. And of course, those dates were specifically to be held on a Monday. All Mondays, all holidays, started last year, June 20th, and continues to April 1st, 2024. So again, I believe that God has given me a vision and a plan for us to pray for our country, because we know that our country is in dire trouble right now because of the crime that is happening. And our crime plan is very strategic. Our crime plan is prayer, prayer, and prayer. And so we have 12 strategic meetings that the Lord gave to me. And so this will be our 7th National Day of Prayer. And so we are going to go into the heart of the city of Port of Spain, Woodford Square.
All right, and you're going in on the 19th, which is the holiday, right?
That's correct. We will be there on the 19th. This particular prayer that we're having for this particular 7th National Day of Prayer, because we started it up in the north, where we were at the Center of Excellence. Mm-hmm. And of course, from that, we went to various parts of the countries. And God told us for this 7th National Day of Prayer to pray for the protective services. So we were able to make contact with the Commissioner of Police and the Commissioner of Prisons. We were able to have an audience with the Chief Fire Officer, and we sent an invitation to the Air Marshal, because we are including in that the Coast Guard, the Defense Force, Regiment, the Air Guards. And this particular prayer is because I remember it was a couple of months ago when our Commissioner of Police made a statement that we need an intervention from God. And even though we are not strategists, we can't advise the police. We understand what is happening here in our nation. We believe that she was correct. The police have their work to do, and we who are the priests, we have our work to do also. So we are coming alongside the protective services, and we are saying, because you are protecting us, it is our responsibility and duty to pray for you and to protect you with our prayers. And so that is the initiative behind this entire Stand in the Gap for Trinidad and Tobago 7th National Day of Prayer. Every National Day of Prayer takes on a different form of itself, because God has given us instructions who to pray for. We pray for the government, we pray for public servants, we pray for the church, we pray for our pastors, we pray for all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, because our nation is crying out. Our nation is asking for help, and our nation have been asking, where is the church? The church still continues to do its work, but we are saying the church is coming out, and we are inviting all of Trinidad and Tobago to come with us, Woodford Square in the city of Port of Spain, for our 7th National Day of Prayer, as we cry out to God. Many families are hurting. Many are victims of crime. There's so much of bloodshed in our country, and we are saying it is time for us to unite as a body, to unite as a people, and come and stand in the gap and cry out to God for help.
Pastor, you said you had 6 of them already, and you would have mentioned some of the people that you prayed for previously, with the government officials, the citizens, all those were included in the previous 6, yeah?
Yes, yes, because for every prayer meeting, we always understand the importance of praying for our nation, and for praying for our people, and for praying, of course, for our Prime Minister, for praying for our government ministers, for praying for the ministers, for the opposition leader, and for the opposition ministers. We have prayed for the judiciary. There are several areas we pray for, and we know the importance of standing in the gap, because prayer works. Prayer works. We may not be seeing as much as we want to see, but God is working. And of course, we have always said, if the church wasn't praying, you could only imagine the state of our country. So we are believing God for a move here in our nation. We have also prayed for the economy. We understand that the economy is important. And so there are so many categories that we have prayed for. But God said, for this National Day of Prayer, the 7th National Day of Prayer, okay, stand in the gap for the protective services. We are no criminologists. We can't advise and tell the police what to do or to tell various protective arms what to do. But we are saying we are going to come alongside you, and we are asking the protective services to come out, and all of them to come out and to stand in the gap, because many families are traumatized by what their husbands or their wives go through when they go to work, as a policeman or a policewoman, as a fireman or a firewoman. You know, it all depends on where you work, the defense force, whatever arm you work in. You know, even in the prisons, we understand what is happening, of course, with those who go to work there, their lives are threatened. And we are saying, as a church, we are supporting you. We are supporting you. We don't know how to plan for crime in this country, but we know how to plan for prayer. And we believe that our prayer is a crime plan that stands in the gap for our nation, Trinidad and Tobago. And so we have made invitations to all these leaders to come out. We have sent an invitation, of course, to those in authority. And of course, we are believing God that on that day, that we will see a great response from our country, Trinidad and Tobago. We need to understand that we need to come out. We are in this together. Our country is bleeding. Our country is hurting. We need to come out and stand in the gap and say, God, help our nation, help our country. Let's stop staying home and protest or criticize. Or, of course, I understand everybody's entitled to their own comments. But I'm saying, let's put the comments aside this time. Let's come out and hold arms. Let's kneel on the ground in Woodford Square and let's cry to God. Let's cry out to God. God, help our nation. The Bible tells us, blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. This is the great awakening. The church has brought out the great awakening, and we are saying to our nation, get ready.
Pastor, I feel like I need to ask this, Pastor. So after we hold hands and we get down on the ground and we kneel down and we cry out to God for help, what then?
What next?
Yeah.
Well, of course, we are crying out to God. We continue. This is our 7th National Day of Prayer, so we haven't finished.
So we just cry.
So we continue to cry out to God.
So we just continue crying indefinitely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, prayer is universal, and prayer is not intermittent. In other words, prayer is consistent. There must be consistent prayer. You pray, I pray, the nation prays. Prayer must be consistent. And if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then God will hear from heaven. 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. We have always quoted that, and we stand by that word, that God will hear from heaven, and God will hear, and God will heal our beautiful twin island, Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, Pastor, let me thank you so much for joining us this morning. And of course, more prayer definitely can't hurt. We look forward to Monday, where we join you in Woodford Square for a National Day of Prayer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you again, and God richly bless you and your station, TTT.
Same to you. All right, guys, we take a quick break and we come back with your birthday shout. Stick around. It's Now Morning Show.